All right, going to service the Super 55 this evening. It hasn't been serviced since I did the injection pump, and that's been 2 years ago. But it's only got not even a full 40 hours on it, so it's really getting changed more because it's been 2 years than because it's got a lot of hours on it. I think it's raked hay a couple, or raked straw a couple times, and other than that, basically the only thing it gets used for is moving equipment around, because without the power takeoff working, it's kind of limited in what we can use it for. But I figured for a little bit, I mean, all I gotta do is drop the oil, change that, and change the fuel filters. I checked the hydraulic oil, it's fine. It doesn't really leak any gear oil, so the rear end's fine. So I figured rather than wasting a bunch of time driving back and forth, I will just change it here rather than driving over to Mom and Dad's. $1,600 is going to go to Mom and Dad's because I got more to do to that, and it's just nice being able to do it in a heated shop. I did consider dragging the... Oh, that was good and tight. I did consider dragging the salamander down here, but I was like, you know what, for as long as I'm going to be down here, it really just ain't worth the hassle. And honestly, just being out of the, oh, I swear to God, if you fill up, you gonna be good? All right, now I got oil all over both hands and everything. Give me a second here. I hate that drain pan. I inherited it from Dad because Dad hated it, so he bought that open top one, and I never really do a whole lot of oil changes over here because I go over to Mom and Dad's, and now that I'm gonna start having equipment over here, I'm probably gonna start doing at least a little bit of maintenance over here, and I really need to buy a bigger open top drain pan like what Dad's got, because that thing is garbage. But anyhow, what was I talking about? Can't you remember? So anyhow, as you can see, stuff has moved around down here a little bit. I took the liquid tanks that were up against that wall and I put them upstairs in the loft for now. We have to find a different spot for them when we get straw baled to make room in the loft again, but got those out of there. Rearranged some stuff, and out all them tires are gone. Shoved the manure spreader over there, turned the crimper against that wall, put the cement mixer here, and my hopes are that the baler will fit right here with the chute back against the wall, and the rake will kind of tuck up in there with the tail kind of in between the shelf and the post. And then the Super 55 should still fit either right here or right, it should fit in here somewhere. So that's kind of the plan. I was going to work on doing that Sunday, but then we ended up working on the 1955 and the weather was crap, and the weather's still kind of crap. It snowed last night, then that melted. It snowed all on and off all day today. We're supposed to get a bunch of snow again tonight, and it's supposed to snow on and off tomorrow, and then it's supposed to be nice Wednesday, and then it's supposed to rain Thursday, Friday. So, yeah. So I guess Wednesday, if the weather does what they say it's going to do, that's when I'll run the 1600 home so we can get it serviced this week. And then we'll be down to the 1950T and the 4150, which the 4150 is getting tires when it gets serviced, so that's going to be a project. But I gotta go. I don't know if I can get that without my filter wrench or if I'm gonna have to go get it. Yeah, I'm gonna need my filter wrench. Be right back. Okay, we'll see how big of a mess we made. I did have this thing running about an hour and a half ago to move it back far enough to work on it, so we'll see how full the filter is. I really don't like this style of filter wrench, but it was a free dumpster find on a brand new wrench, so I guess technically you could say that I stole it from Bayer, but they literally were throwing it in the dumpster, so I was like, well, hell, I'm not going to waste a perfectly good channel lock filter wrench. So I went and pilfered it. I really need to get this old girl up higher on the priority list for getting in the shop and getting a few things fixed on it. So right now I'm torn. I want to do something different for a lawnmower because I don't want to kill Granddad's Ford, and I don't want to kill the Sears because I got a lot of lawn to mow. And it's rough lawn. It ain't like a manicured lawn. I mean, there ain't nothing fun about mowing it. But I'm torn between, do I go out, and I'd kind of like to buy a little Massey Ferguson compact, one of their GC series, with a 60-inch deck on it, and use that to mow lawn? Or do I this thing needs the PTO fixed, it needs the main clutch fixed, it needs the steering box replaced, it needs the front end, or it needs the front axle replaced. So I'm torn between go out and buy me a Massey compact, have power steering, 4-wheel drive, belly mower, you know, nice tight turning radius, hydro, yada yada yada. Or do I mean, this is going to get fixed regardless, but do the Z-split on this, fix the PTO clutch, fix the main clutch, you know, do all the stuff that needs to get it usable, and then once you're all said and done, you're also going to need to put tires and rims on it because the rims are, you know, screwed, and get a 6-foot finish more for this thing and mow lawn with this. That's my dilemma. Because in all honesty, if you're not buying a loader and a backhoe and all that other fancy crap, those little Masseys, or really any subcompact for that matter, if you're just buying a tractor and a mower deck, really aren't that hard on the pocketbook. I mean, you can buy one of those for well within the range of a commercial grade 0-turn, and when it's all said and done, still have an actual tractor with a drawbar and a 3-point, and you can do stuff with if you need to, other than just having a 0-turn lawnmower that is just a lawnmower. But I also don't think, other than the fact that it would be a lot heavier, I don't think this thing would be too terrible of a mower tractor too if you got like a 6-foot, you know, King Cutter, Bueller, whatever it may be, finish mower for the back of it. So I don't know, I've been torn. I also want to do something for a side-by-side to make doing chores and stuff easier, and lots of wants. Okay, hopefully I got the right fuel filter. We didn't have one. I had to run to Napa and get one, and I got the one that Napa said I needed, so. Naturally, it's not the same one as the 1800. I was hoping it was, but the 1800 uses a bigger one. Oh yeah, it looks right. The other thing I like about doing this over at Dad's better is he's got a solvent tank and I do not. Let me clean this up real quick. Okay, new seals are in, new filters in. And this is the fun part because they did not leave you a whole lot of room to weasel this bugger up in there. We could have made that filter base about a ½ inch taller to give you a little bit more clearance up above the tack drive, and it would have made life a little nicer. It doesn't need to be tight. And the dang handle broke off of the fuel shutoff, so you gotta get your handy dandy channel locks out. She needs a little bit of work. Tell you what though, if you'd have seen, I wish we'd kept pictures. Actually, I might have pictures of the day, or the second or third day we had it, but I don't think we got any pictures of the day it actually came home, and it still had the ugly-ass grill guard on it, and the homemade Western snowplow mount and plow, and the cable control, and she was ugly. I mean, she ain't no showstopper now, but when we brought her home, she was really ugly. I mean, a face only a mother could love. And I never actually saw it with all that stuff on it because I think it seems like I might have been working, I can't remember if I was working harvest or working third shift or whatever the circumstances were, but either way I was not around. We were, some circumstances because of work kept me from seeing it for a few days. And Dad actually went and tore all that stuff off and got rid of it before I actually saw the tractor. And to bump it over, she's on high cam. Do it by hand. There we go. Alright, I got the oil changed. The fuel system, I believe, is bled up, so last thing I gotta do real quick is grease it and then we can fire it up. See what happens. Alright, that should be it. The only thing I gotta watch on this is ever since we've had it, we've always had issues with the filter sealing up on the base, that they screw in hard. I don't know if it's something inherent with that cast iron base. Like the 66, 70, or pretty sure 66 and 77 both, they got cast aluminum bases and the threads are a lot smoother. This one, the threads are kind of rough. But it also appears at some point there was water sitting in that filter or sitting in that filter base, and it kind of crusted things up. I mean, it's all cleaned up now, but they have been roughed up because of something at some point. So if you fire it up and it starts leaking, you just kind of got to start cranking on it till it quits leaking. Has what's been the problem in the past. If that fuel filter base is weeping a little bit or if that's some changing it. That's curious about the knocking sound, so there's a bunch of shit loose up in here for the PTO clutch for whatever carnage went on up in there to cause it to, it would appear to be locked in because the shaft always spins, but if you put something on the shaft it slips, so the clutch is not locked in, but it also won't disengage. There's something discombobulated up in there. But whatever's knocking up in there transfers down through the PTO, and when you got the drawbar on, the drawbar rattles. So that's that. She's a Chariot. Alright, just gotta double check my oil level real quick. I'm gonna guess it obviously dropped after it filled the filter, but I overfilled it. I just don't know if I overfilled it enough. I was a little too premature to call no leaky on the oil filter because I went upstairs and dumped the drain bucket out and walked back down and I'll be damned if there wasn't a little teeny tiny puddle of oil on the floor underneath the filter base. Now look, and sure enough, it's dripping just a little bit. I wish I could figure out why. I mean, you look at the filter base, other than the obvious, at some point, minor rust damage, which cleaned up fine, there is no reason that jumps right out at you. It says, hey, this filter base is screwed up. So they're the same filters we run on the 66 and the 77 without issue. Without issue. It's just this thing. No clue why. She's special. Perfect. So, I guess that's one more we can check off the to-do list. All I'm waiting on for the 1600 is a cap. I ordered a cap and rotor for it Saturday. I got a points and condenser for it. I had to order a cap and rotor. So hopefully they show up Tuesday or Wednesday. And like I say, Wednesday, if the weather does what it's supposed to, I'll run the tractor home or the 1600 home, and we will get that one done before the weekend. So, because hopefully the weather's decent this weekend and we can move some equipment around over here, because before I can try to get the baler and rake in here, the corn picker's got to move because it's hanging out far enough in the doorway that I can't get the baler through the door, or probably the rake for that matter, with the angle it's gonna have to come in at. So, but anyway, this is done, so I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.